John Cena has appeared on Kaidan's Twitch stream. We have a return update for Kenny Omega and Alexa Bliss, and AEW have made a new signing. Welcome to Wrestling Republic News, your daily show which brings you all the non-dirt sheet wrestling news in the time that it takes for you to drink your morning coffee. Before we get into things, if you could leave a like and comment, that would be massively appreciated. John Cena appeared on Kaidan's Twitch stream last night. Now, if you don't know who Kaidan is, and fair enough, he is actually one of the most famous young people in the world right now. He's one of the biggest streamers in the world right now, and he gets a lot of celebrities on his streams. They're hugely successful, and John Cena is the latest name to join him. The stream was seemingly a collaboration with McDonald's, as Big Macs were involved and McDonald's were promoting it. But basically, John Cena just came in pretty much as a surprise. I mean, they did announce it very briefly beforehand, but yeah, they just had some fun for a bit. They were just doing a lot of random things, some dancing, some eating. I mean, it's a little bit bizarre. But hey, he'll definitely make for some funny memes. John Cena is just completing side quests at this point in his career, and it is fun to see. Lio Rush has signed with AEW once again. Rush was previously signed with the promotion between 2021 and 2022 before retiring for a second time in his career, but now he is back. He's been back in AEW for the last few months, and as of this week, he has now signed a new deal with AEW. This was announced backstage at AEW Wrestle Dream, and very interestingly, MVP and Shelton Benjamin walked in and they asked him if he was free next Wednesday, and he said that he will be. So of course, this has created the question, which is now all over social media: if AEW are indeed creating a new version of the Hurt Business, could Lio Rush be in it? As we know, Cedric Alexander is still under contract with WWE, so he is not going to be involved, but could Lio Rush be that fourth name? With the amount of history that Lio Rush and Bobby Lashley have had together, if Lashley does come to AEW, well, it would make a lot of sense for Lio Rush to join that faction, and it would certainly do great things for him. Would you like to see it? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. The Undertaker believes WWE superstars are now looked at in the same light as NFL and NBA athletes. During an interview on Booker T's Hall of Fame podcast, Undertaker talked about how during his day, WWE superstars were looked at more as entertainers or even circus acts. But now says the public perception of WWE superstars has improved and they are now looked at as athletes on the same caliber as NFL and NBA ones. And this is a great point by The Undertaker, it truly is. And I think in part it's because of the amount of mainstream media sites which have started covering WWE in recent years, and now it has felt a bit more like a legitimate sport, I guess, despite the fact that everybody knows it is entertainment. And perhaps this is in part because the amount of athletes from the NFL, from the NBA, from the Olympics, which WWE have signed over the last decade or so. I mean, that really legitimizes it, especially when they come in and they can struggle at times. A lot of them don't make it. It shows how tough it is. And of course, we mustn't forget that when Undertaker was wrestling, I mean, WWE was still trying to say, hey, this is real. We're not acknowledging that it's fake. But everybody by that point knew that it was fake. So it kind of felt a little bit phony, I guess, in the eyes of a lot of mainstream media. And when they did admit it, well, that kind of only made things worse for a couple of years. But, I mean, now years have passed, a lot of people who grew up with it are now adults, and people understand, you know, it's a really difficult thing, despite the fact, obviously, it's scripted. And I think now that mainstream media does have a lot more of a respect for WWE and its competitors, and that is well deserved. Alexa Bliss has announced that she will be returning to WWE. During an Instagram Q&A this weekend, Alexa Bliss was flooded with questions about WWE, and she said that she's not going to answer any more of them, but yes, she's going to be returning. And this is great news. Bliss hasn't been seen on WWE television since the Royal Rumble in 2023, so early January 2023, which means it's almost been 2 years now. Of course, during this time, she gave birth to her daughter, who's about to turn 1 year old. So, of course, it makes a lot of sense why she's been gone, but I cannot wait to see her back, and a lot of WWE fans agree based on the amount of questions she was getting about this. Kota Ibushi has given a return update on Kenny Omega. While appearing on Yuji Nagata's YouTube channel, Kota Ibushi revealed that Kenny Omega will only be out for another 2 to 3 more months. And considering before Kenny Omega said he wasn't even sure if he was going to be able to return, this is fantastic news. But it's still not all positive news for Kenny Omega, because during his recovery, even now, he is struggling with going to the toilet, eating foods, basic daily tasks. Because if you didn't know, and I'm so sorry I'm about to botch the pronunciation like I have done about 100 times when I've talked about this, but Kenny Omega has been suffering from diverticulitis. And it's such an awful thing to go through. The amount of pain which Kenny Omega must be going through to even bend down and everything like that. And Kota Ibushi said it. I mean, he can be taking an hour on the toilet at the minute. But more positively, Kota Ibushi did say that he thinks that we will see the Golden Lovers back together on AEW television in the very near future. And now it's time for the Raw preview, and we have an absolutely stacked card this week. We are firstly going to have a face-to-face between Cody Rhodes and Gunther, as the WWE Champion and World Heavyweight Champion will take each other on for the Crown Jewel Championship at Crown Jewel. The WWE Women's Tag Team Championships will be on the line as Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill team up to take on Kairi Sane and Io Sky. I'm really looking forward to this one. That could be a bit of a banger. Meanwhile, after The Miz turned on R-Truth, despite R-Truth still not really understanding that, the two will take each other's on in a singles capacity. And after what went down last week with Bron Breakker breaking Jey Uso in half, he will take on Kofi Kingston. And of course, just a quick reminder that in case you forgot, Raw is now 2 hours once again, and that will continue this week. That's all the news for today, guys. I'll be back tomorrow, so I'll see you guys then. Hope you guys enjoyed. Peace.